The following was originally published in 2018, and while I stand by the critiques of The Last Jedi I make, I deeply regret any direct personal attacks I make against Rian Johnson, Kathleen Kennedy, or any other employee of Lucasfilm. Those comments were made in anger and frustration, and I will do a separate video about that after this series.
Last time on the Anti-Trekker, Poe got hot and heavy with a big ball. Alright, that was just weird. Now, last time I suggested that Rose looked all disgusted because of what Poe was doing with and to BB-8, but really she's just upset because there are so few resistance fighters left. Perhaps, had they not just come crashing in their spaceship into the middle of the base and plowing it right through the crowd of resistance fighters, there might be a few more of them left. But, you know, the Force. So, they now decide to unpack their scanners and... Wait, what? Did they not set up their scanners the second they got there? Especially since it looks like setting up the scanners is actually easier than setting up a game of Battleship.
All right, shields are up.
Wait. wait a minute. Real, Rian Johnson, have you really gotten this lazy? I mean, really? Look, I know, okay, some of you are no doubt wondering why I think this scene is so funny. So let's look at this short scene and make it even shorter. In the first half, we see two unnamed extras unpack the scanner. The camera then immediately cuts to the same room, but the camera's turned a little to the left. So the camera comes back to the same spot it was at before, and the two extras have apparently, in the course of exactly 1.8 seconds, not only got the scanner set up, but then they left the room and were replaced by 4 other people, including Poe and Commander D'Acy. And before you say,
but wait, the Resistance obviously set up more than one scanner. The extras were just setting up one, and then they cut to another room where they set up another one.
well, there's a couple of problems. Besides the fact that the lines on the screen are identical.
But wait, you could explain that, because they're the same kind of scanner, and they're scanning the same general area.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. But actually, if you look at the crates that both of the scanners are sitting on, they are identical.
But wait, they just happen to be the same kind of...
And they have the same set of windows behind them.
But wait, they just happen to be in 2 identical control rooms at the same mining facility.
Really? You're really gonna go there?
Okay, you got me on that one.
So Poe announces that they have the shields up, so they can't be attacked from orbit. Too bad the First Order doesn't have any more dreadnoughts they could call in, except that they do. But, you know, the Force. The goal is now, apparently, to send out a distress signal to the Outer Rim. Leia says to use her personal code, because everyone has a personal code, right? You know, to summon those allies that may or may not exist, I guess. Rose comes in to report that all they have is some rusted out ordnance and half-gutted skim speeders. So yeah, they're trapped and they have no real way of defending themselves. Nice plan, Haldo. Oh, what? Too soon?
Rotted munitions, rusted artillery, some half-gutted skim speeders.
Well, let's just pray that big-ass door holds long enough for us to get help.
Wait. Big-ass door? Really? this is the level of writing we've devolved to. It's not that I'm a prude or anything, but this level of crude language just doesn't fit. Ewan Han in Empire Strikes Back said, "I'll see you in hell." Or when Obi-Wan in the original Star Wars said that Owen was worried that Luke was going to follow him on a damn fool idealistic crusade. The writing had a certain level of maturity, and the actors added a certain level of gravitas, which gave weight to what they were saying if they used stronger language. This is actually the essence of what good writing is all about. It's not that you can't use profanity, but if you do, it should have a very profound meaning. Get it? And I cannot believe that I'm using the writing of George Lucas as an example of good writing. But it is what it is. But when Poe says big ass door, I half expected to see Nicki Minaj to come in busting into the room talking about her big ass door. It just felt childish. And speaking of childish, it looks like the First Order has made a portable butthole gun, but Finn calls it a battering ram cannon, which is about the dumbest name I've heard for anything in Star Wars. And this is from a franchise that includes super lasers, turbo lasers, and laser swords. Finn explains that the butthole gun is a miniaturized version of the Death Star weapon, which kind of begs the question, does Rian Johnson understand what miniaturized means? I mean, look at this thing. It's about 2/3 of the height of the AT-M6 that's right next to it. Now, a quick search shows you that the AT-M6 is about 36 meters tall. So that would put this butthole at about 24 meters across. And according to Finn, it'll blow a hole in the door that not even apparently the Dreadnought could crack. So, why, number one, is this not mounted on the front of every Star Destroyer? Anyway, the problem is that it really just looks like the emitter from the super laser, but it just doesn't have the power generation that the Death Star has, so it can probably only get off one shot. And that would make sense. What does not make sense is to say that it is miniaturized Death Star tech. What he should have said is that it is portable Death Star tech. Well, BB-8 lets everyone know just how screwed they are, because according to the base schematics, there's no other way out. So the butthole gun is going to blow a gaping hole in the front door, and there is no gaping back door to escape from. Poe gives a speech about how people believe in Leia and their allies will come if they can just buy them enough time, which would be a nice moment for this film if it were not for the fact that later we find out and apparently nobody gives a crap about the Resistance because nobody comes. Perhaps nobody cares because when the Resistance was in control 2 days ago, there was rampant slavery and animal abuse and corruption everywhere. So how is the First Order a bad thing? Really, what makes the First Order evil? And before you say, well, they did blow up that one system with Starkiller Base, all they did was destroy the evil, oppressive government that was tolerating slavery and animal abuse. So how is that an evil act? They liberated the galaxy. I don't see anything about the First Order that is intrinsically evil. Anyway, Finn must have given a good speech because Rose grins. And you know if it's approved by Rose, it must be good. Which is why it is perfectly okay to kill hundreds of people who had nothing to do with the animal abuse on Canto Bight because it brings a smile to sweet, innocent Rose's face. Who exactly is supposed to be evil in this story? I mean, seriously? So we get our obligatory shot of extras preparing for battle. And one of them, for, well, no reason whatsoever, breaks cover to get a better look at the oncoming forces, even though they're on a salt flat, which means that you could see them just as well from in the foxhole as you could standing up outside of the foxhole, because there's no physical obstacles between them and the incoming forces. Now, how do I know it's a salt flat, you may ask? Well, because this dumbass decides to taste the planet. He literally just puts his hand down and tastes it, declares that it's salt, and spits. Well, good thing this isn't the arsenic planet, right? You know, it's funny because I remember when I was in the Army, if we were preparing a defensive position and we dig foxholes around a perimeter, one of the first things we do if we were on guard duty and sitting in that foxhole is taste the dirt right around us to determine what kind of dirt it was. Because, yeah, that's what you do, especially if it's unfamiliar dirt. Man, anyway. So the resistance has now got their defense ready for what it is, and they launch these. Hey, you remember when I said that the shark fin box ship took away the title of being the worst designed ship of Star Wars from the stupid bombers, who in turn took the title away from the Dreadnought? Yeah. Well, we have a new champion, folks. The Ski Speeder. One part crap, the other part, more crap. But at least the final battle is about to begin, so that means we're in the home stretch, right?
Hit the like button, you will. Likes lead to comments. Comments lead to conversations. Conversations lead to understanding. Go to Patreon and support the anti-trucker you must, if supporting his videos you want. Yes, support his videos. Then listen to this at the end of the videos. You will not